I want to share a story that brings together like all of the relationships involved in estrangement that I recently learned. Because talking about my older sister being estranged, and this girl just hates me. She absolutely hates me. She's 4 years older, and she always has. As children, she would just always beat me up, and I never understood why, but she just hated me. Well, I found out why, and now my heart just breaks for her. It won't change our relationship because she's not aware of this, but it changed how I think about her. And it came about when I recently moved to Portugal just this week. I'm here now. But when this conversation was happening with my mom about me moving so far away, remember, I haven't seen my mom in years, and we always just used to live 2.5 hours apart from one another. And but we never saw each other, and she would just uninvite me sometimes just because she didn't feel well, or whatever, didn't feel like walking on eggshells now is probably what she didn't want. But we really never saw each other even when we lived close. But she's really having a hard time with me moving so far away. And she immediately starts telling a story about, she says, I get it now. I understand why my mom didn't want me to move to Colorado because they grew up in Nebraska. And she had 6 kids, but my mom was the only kid who was going to move away out of the state. And her mom had a really hard time with letting her go. So I'm 3 years old at the time, and my older sister is 7 or 8, somewhere in there. And my grandma convinces my mom to leave my sister behind, to not take her out of school and leave her behind. Can you imagine a little 7 or 8-year-old watching your family drive away with your little sister, but not you? I mean, what does that do to a kid? But here, what was grandma doing? Grandma was just saying, no, don't go, trying to hold on to collateral at that point. She had well-meaning as well. Just keep her in school. We don't want to disrupt her school. I'll take care of her, don't worry. And ensuring that my mom was going to come back. So in understanding that, and now understanding why my sister has hated me her whole life without ever knowing why, it makes so much sense. I mean, that there's something in our history that promotes these relationships. I remember Cheryl sharing that her younger estranged sister, always felt like she was just never part of the rest of the tribe. She was younger, she was always left out. She never felt like she was part of the family. I mean, there's a reason there, a deep feel, a deep hurt, deep wound that, and that's always the source behind all of our pain. It really isn't the estrangement. We have so much more going on from our childhood, usually, that we need to heal, because that's why the estrangement feels so painful, is because we've got those childhood wounds that we didn't heal.